Alrighty. All-star.
Yep.
And very slow Kansas. So, welcome to another episode of the Armchair Crew Chief. My name is Jordan, and I am accompanied by my partner in crime, co-host, smelling salt connoisseur, Josh.
Biscuit Man.
Biscuit Man.
We had a treat tonight.
Yeah. You didn't hear that, Jenny. Because there's probably not.
Instead of grenade gum, we had biscuits. So.
Yeah. We still
tea and biscuits.
We still got Sprite, too.
Woo.
Separate episode for that later. Oh, boy. Good old Rod Brindamore. Anyway, so let's get it started off here. What do you call a NASCAR driver who can't stop speeding?
I don't know.
Unemployed.
That's a good one.
How do NASCAR fans clean their house? They just turn left and do a few laps. And we did that one. This was pretty stupid, so we're going to end on this one. Why did the NASCAR driver bring string to the race?
I don't know.
To tie the competition.
Yeah, we're going downhill.
Yeah, so we're gonna nip that one in the bud.
To never be heard again.
Yes. Oh boy. So Xfinity did not run this week. They were off. It was Nurses Week. So we had some interesting names. We had the Advent Health 400, I think is what it was. And I was just looking at it here earlier. Heart of Healthcare 200 was the name of the truck race.
Yeah.
Looking at the truck race, I was impartial to it, to the fact of I don't really like when the Cup drivers come down and win.
Yeah, we've talked about that before.
Numerous times.
Yep.
So, just getting right into it, Carson Hocevar won the race. He gave out the year number one to Lane Riggs.
Yeah,
and
I didn't see the race, but I'm not a fan of that.
Yeah,
well I don't really like Hocevar, and actually Riggs is probably one of my favorite truck guys. So,
ironically, Kyle Busch shares the same opinion you do.
Huh?
Doesn't like it.
I mean, we've talked about Cup level guys coming backwards.
Right.
That's one thing. That's one conversation. To come down and essentially not bully, because you're all adults here, but why do you got to be like that?
Well, to my thing is he was getting raced hard. Like, they bumped a little bit, but this is trucks for crying out loud.
It's just arrogant. Like, he's not going to get any fan base by being arrogant. I mean, he will get some, because Kyle Busch did it for years and years, but nobody likes those people.
Yeah. And if you do, keep telling yourself that.
Yeah. I don't want to be associated with anybody that's like that.
So, Lane Riggs actually got last place.
Yeah, I saw.
He got disqualified.
Didn't use enough JB Weld.
Didn't use enough button straps for his tonneau cover.
Yeah. We need to get a sponsor of like who's the people that make the mud flaps? WeatherGuard.
Yeah, WeatherGuard. WeatherTech.
WeatherTech. They probably make like a cover. We need to get them to sponsor.
Yeah, we got trucks. We can slap those things on there and go around.
They should take advantage of the situation and come out with some marketing deal.
Yeah, that would be something else.
Like, your bed cover leaving you out in the cold.
Are you getting disqualified? Come use our stuff. So anyway, yeah, that was the big thing.
Shout out WeatherTech if you're looking to sponsor a small podcast.
Yep. The more the merrier. Oh boy, Frankie Muniz, poor old Frankie Muniz. So Lane was I think it was Lane leading the race, and Frankie wiped out, and it was like ill-timed. It looked like it was all staged almost.
Yeah.
And Then Hocevar comes bebopping around. He was making decent runs. Let's see, where does it say he started? Started 7th. No, started 4th. William Byron, 2nd now.
Byron.
Corey Heim time. That truck was a rocket ship.
He's a Toyota, isn't he?
Yes, he is.
Yeah, they're pretty cool looking. I actually like all the trucks. I think the Fords look pretty good.
Yeah, I don't have any problem with
They're
them.
good looking, like body. Like
Yeah.
they look nice.
Yeah. So Heim was sitting there and he got a penalty like 25 laps to go.
Okay.
Dude rocket ships and finishes 3rd or 4th, however you want to see it.
He raced Cup, right, as well? Or did he not? Who am I thinking of that raced Cup? I was thinking he was in the Cup race.
Was it him? It was.
I'll look that.
Yeah, that was like the 4th Xfinity or 2311 car. So yeah, he was rocking it. He's been on a hot heater recently.
He raced the 11.
Okay.
Wait.
No, that's the truck he runs.
It
was like the 60 something.
I was on the wrong.
What is 67?
Yeah,
I think is the one
messed up.
I can probably pull it up real quick too. Anyway, yeah,
67. Yeah. Yep. He got 13th,
okay.
which is pretty good because he's kind of
It's
a
respectable.
up and coming. Like
Yeah, it's very respectable.
Yeah.
To be fair.
To be fair, if you know, you know.
Yep. FYK.
Never heard it like that before. But I'm not really hip, so I'm not surprised.
Oh boy.
Sounds like a cool bumper sticker. Just the letters.
As sure as God's got sandals, Carson Hocevar is going to be one of the least liked drivers on this podcast.
I get like Logano to commentate that.
Well, you know, guys. Oh my gosh, who was it? Oh, Boyer made a big mistake this week.
He makes a big mistake every week.
Yeah, he does. But
that radiator. Look at that radiator coming out across the track. You can tell he never worked on a car.
No.
Poor guy.
No, he goes up. They're going to call up on the radio, speak to Larson.
Yeah.
And they called him Kyle Busch.
Oops.
Oh my gosh.
Did he make any mention to it, or did he blow over it?
Oh, he made mention to it. I got to see if I can find it, and we'll have to play it. It was stinking hilarious.
Larson's he's pretty bland with interviews. Like, nothing too spectacular. He's just like, you could almost predict what he's going to say. But he never really has a bad interview. He's just not super, like, showy, I guess.
Right. Yeah, it was, see, this is it. See if they got a video to go with this. Continue to cite. I don't want that. Yeah, it was pretty wild. It was embarrassing, and you could tell that he was pretty embarrassed about it.
I can't wait till they're not doing the broadcast anymore.
Oh, I know.
It's coming up
very soon.
After the Coke 600, I think.
No, they don't have Coke 600.
Okay.
Prime's got Coke 600.
Oh, okay. So it starts after the All-Star race, maybe.
Yes.
Because I think they have the All-Star race.
They have the All-Star race, and they're done.
Yeah.
Where is it? Come on. Give me a video. We'll play it. It's wild. I guess I'll just go to YouTube.
The YouTubes.
The YouTubes. With the sashimis and sushis. Yeah, it was pretty. I didn't fully hear the response either. But it was something else. And oh my gosh, come on. I mean, this is ridiculous. But what was wild was went blank. Busch getting on Denny Hamlin's podcast and talking about all these people. Well, he's like, we're all clowns. We can't drive.
So he was on like his podcast, like in studio?
Yes.
I might have to listen to that.
Yeah.
That sounds like a whole lot of opinion in one room.
Yeah. Yeah. It was something else. I mean, he was sitting there talking about it, and he's like, we need to stop. We need to go back to like metal body cars.
Yeah.
I mean, he made some very valid points, but it's also coming from
old school guy.
Not even so much old school guy. It's coming from a guy that's been ironic or hypocritical throughout his own side.
Yeah.
I can't even find it on here. Why isn't it not on?
You got pulled off the internet.
Probably. Yeah, it was, and the crazy thing is, like, all over TikTok. Meltdown, multiple drivers angry. Okay, yeah. So, like, he was like, oh, this sucks. We all suck. Kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Even Larson came out and said, we need to change the cars, add more horsepower. And this is the dude that's dominating the races right now.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Not that it's easy to drive. I think the Cup cars are still, obviously race cars are hard to drive, but like make it that next level, like where you can mess up a lot. I think I only been able to listen to like bits and pieces of some podcasts and stuff, but I always forget his name. Blaney's tire changer guy with on
Skip
Stacking
Flores.
Pennies. Yeah, he was talking about something along the lines of like he loves seeing single car spinouts. He's like, that proves to you how tough the racing is. Like,
yeah,
if you got somebody out front by himself and he spins out because of like, he was pretty much talking about Texas bump.
Okay.
And like, everybody knows it's there. It's the character of the track. Like,
right.
Everybody knows if you're in lane 2 or 3 and you're on what is that turn 4? I think it is.
Yes.
You're gonna hit the bump, and if you have your stops low enough for speed, you're gonna bottom out. And like you heard McDowell talk about it in some interviews that he had with LaJoy and stuff about like, well, I knew I couldn't race Logano, in 2 and 3 full throttle because I'd spin out. Like it adds a level of racing to it.
Right.
But Skip was pretty much like, I love seeing single car spin outs. He's like, these are elite drivers, and if they can't handle the car, I want to see more of that.
Right.
And it's like that's what horsepower would do to these races. Like if you got guys that can feather the throttle a little bit too much and lose their back end or burn their tires up, like it's too easy. It's turning into slot car racing.
Slot car racing, it's getting to the point.
It'd just be cool if they could mess up more, like more opportunity to have failure.
Well, we all want the composite body, but at the same time, I want to see, this is one of the points Kyle Busch was making, Denny was making it too, is like bump off the car and you damage your car and aero is going to suck.
Yeah.
Nowadays, they just pop it right back out. It sucks.
Yeah.
I mean,
or you hit hard. I mean, with the
gosh.
in-car cameras, you see how hard they hit.
Yeah, it's rough.
And it doesn't even do anything to the car. Like,
yeah.
But then again, you got, car inspections and finding that bumper areas are being reinforced, and
yeah,
no wonder. I mean, they're already strong, but yeah, there's stuff going on.
Segueing to that, we'll jump around. We'll jump around quite a bit.
Like to keep it fresh.
Mr. Buescher got penalized 60 points and 10, 15 playoff points. I don't recall.
Yeah, it's a fairly big
jump. Anyway.
5 playoff points.
Yeah.
60 championship.
He violated section 14.1.c, covered assembly rule, vehicle rules, and 14.5.4.g, front bumper cover. The team was over the maximum reinforcement allowed to the front bumper cover.
So I was reading, it had something to do with like you could have 2 inches of reinforcement or something past the foam, and they had more than 2 inches, which I guess would make the nose stronger to where you could push or hit harder without damage, maybe,
or
is what the problem is.
Up. Yeah, something like that.
It's probably so you could bump harder and not have, incident, maybe, but
yeah,
they have a rule. It's 2 inches of reinforcement past the foam.
Right.
But it was on I forget what news source it was, but it was essentially saying that like when they're the rules there so they can reuse used parts as a repair instead of constantly having to put new bumper covers on, so they can reuse old parts and reinforce cracked parts.
Yeah,
but you can only do up to 2 inches past the foam. So it was like a used part that they would have end up reusing from another race car, and reused it, reinforced it, put it on, but they did too much.
Yeah, okay.
But I don't know, this magical NASCAR rulebook.
Yeah, that nobody can get their hands
14.8.G.9. Yes. Like,
right. Yeah. Yeah.
That's how a lot of rulebooks are. But
as promised,
there we go.
let's see if this will play.
How about you, Kyle Busch? Or Kyle Larson. Oh, this is going to be a good one already. Kyle Larson, boy and the boys up in the booth here at Kansas Speedway. Boy, the Heartland Park, it's been good to you this week. We started it. I feel like I'm going to start over. We're live on television. Lakeside down the way. High limits race, sprint car race for you. You stole the pole right there at the end of qualifying. Poor Busher, you've been hard on this kid at this racetrack. Can you make it 2 in a row for the spring race here at Kansas Speedway? I finally got it out.
Well, Jamie McMurray, yeah, I feel really good about our chances today. I love this track. Sun's out, shining. Surface should be slick. Hopefully we can do a good job keeping it up front all day and have a shot at the end.
All right, buddy. Good luck out there. That's what I get for interviewing friends on the air. How about you?
That's great.
How about Kyle Busch?
That is courtesy of NASCAR on Fox on Facebook.
Love it. They give him no slack.
Yeah, no, it was brutal.
They probably had to go to commercial after that because everyone else is laughing.
Yeah. Yeah, unless, people in the truck are like, I don't know who Kyle Larson is. I don't know who this is. Who's Jamie McMurray?
That's funny. Kyle's pretty witty to come up with that quick.
I don't know. He had a good 5 minutes with Boyer keep fumbling over himself.
I'm not a fast thinker, so yeah.
It would have been, I think it would have been better if he would have been like Chris Myers or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
Like, well, Chris. But yeah, so it was, I don't know, the whole race in itself for Cup Series, Allmendinger blew up on one of the first laps. That kind of stunk. And I mean,
I hate to see it.
Yeah, especially some of these he's not younger, but these smaller teams, younger teams. But I can't watch these races. They're boring, and there are people like, oh, well, they're passing. So yeah, they have a few people passing, like if you're in a line and you're moving forward and stuff like that. But there's not, it's not that crazy. Christopher Bell was up there, but the thing that boggled my mind is how can you have a car like Kyle Larson's when these are supposed to be pretty equal? They're almost running the same driving lines, and Larson can still blow them out of the water. Like, it doesn't, I can't comprehend that.
Yeah.
You can't tell me it's like amazing driving skill when the car you see in other races or you see in the back, people that have better driving skill can't get away from the poor driving skill people because the cars are equal.
Yeah.
Like, I don't believe it. There's something there that's going on, and I just can't believe it. Plus the fact I can't really stand Hendrick Motorsports and the very bland HendrickCars.com. But they wore white fire suits because it was a home race, because they have a Hendrick Chevrolet in Kansas.
Interesting.
Yeah, they said that that's one of the useless things that Mike Joy has in his head
for during the race.
Also, one thing I found out, and I didn't see any penalties about it. I think I put it out. Yeah, William Byron got a flat tire, and so they ran in to get it changed. And his tire changers and stuff had no gloves on.
Huh.
Burned his hands on the tire. They showed the blisters on his hands. Yeah. But I didn't see anything about a penalty or anything to that nature.
Yeah, I'd assume if there wasn't, then there's no rule about it. But
I thought you had to have proper PPE.
I don't know.
I mean, you see some of these guys, some of these fuel men have that reflective apron on.
Yeah.
The
Yep.
tinfoil apron.
Tinfoil apron. That's what it looks like.
Yeah, it does. But like you see all this stuff, and then too many men over, and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
How are you?
The severity of the rules aren't the same.
Especially when you're putting somebody's life in danger, or just we'll call it livelihood. Not so much life, but livelihood.
Yeah.
Wow, that's creepy. So yeah, that was a big one. The Kyle Busch.
I was surprised he wasn't too fast entering. When he blew the tire.
Oh yeah.
And he like slid into the pit row. Because he like blew it, but then he kept going, and then the transition from the track to the apron, it like spun him out. I'm pretty sure that was the event, and like it seemed like if he didn't have a chance to slow down, it seemed like he would have been going too fast.
Yeah,
because he like spun right before the timing lines, and I was just surprised that he wasn't going too fast. But maybe because he was already on the flat, that he was slowed down enough that it was that he was good.
Right,
but.
So
yeah, it's like interesting.
We'll have to get back to what I was thinking about, but
But no caution.
No caution. You bring up a very valid point too with the timing lines.
Yeah.
I don't know if you heard about that. They're trying to make the timing lines more uniform now.
Yeah.
I think that's stupid.
Yeah.
Because
it loses the benefit of pit box 1.
Correct.
Yeah, I'm mixed on it. Like I understand what they're trying to do, but
if you want to make the cars...
Well, there's no benefit to being in box 1 at that point.
Right. But if you're trying to make the cars equal and level, then you got to have some kind of competitive advantage somewhere. I think that's a competitive advantage right there.
Yeah.
Is putting, people get the other pit boxes so they can drive through, like the empty pit boxes so they can drive through more than one pit box.
Yeah.
And be fine. It's the same thing, like you said, with pit box 1 or the last pit box.
Right. Because in the old timing line, Larson would have been out first.
Mm-hmm.
Because he doesn't have to get up to speed to the line. But
right.
With the new 70-foot added on, you're essentially having to get back up to speed, so there's no benefit over any other box.
Well, not even that, but you run the risk of, with the smaller timing line, you necessarily weren't going to be speeding in that last sector.
Yeah.
Now you can speed in that last sector because you have enough time to wind it up.
Yeah, like you wouldn't have the opportunity to before. So I understand partially like wanting to make it mostly the same, but I also like how tracks are unique.
Mm-hmm.
I like how baseball fields all have different.
Right.
Like, I like that kind of stuff.
Right.
I kind of felt like, I don't know, in a way I didn't like the bump at Texas.
Uh-huh.
But after hearing that some of the guys like the bump, I'm like, man, I'm good with it. Like, to me, I was like, fix the bump. How many millions of dollars you put in this thing?
Right.
But then the guys are like, it's unique. It's cool. Like, can't go flat out through the turn.
Right. There's another track like that, too.
Yeah. I forget where that is. But I think it's cool. It's like uniqueness of each track.
Right.
Pavements are all different.
Mm-hmm.
Sandy down in Florida. You got, all these different types of conditions, and it just adds to it. It just makes it cool.
So, funny about like that. We were talking about spinning out and whatnot. You're talking about Skip. Thing came to my mind that got brought up this afternoon in a conversation coming back from a baseball game. I don't even know what we were talking about, but it got brought up where Nathan was like, "Oh yeah, you remember that one time at New Hampshire?" I'm like, I'm thinking in the back of my head, what are you talking about? Why are you bringing this up now? We're not even talking about this.
Yeah.
He was talking about, I think it was 2019, the rain race at New Hampshire where it was raining. Busch and Truex called it out. They said, nope, everything's fine.
Yeah.
And then they go and spin out into turn 1
because
of the rain. And they're like, oh, it's rain. It's like, yeah, you just lost your 2 fastest cars because you're an idiot.
Yeah.
And then you have idiot number 2, Jeff Burton, out here now. Oh, well, they have people standing at each corner or something stupid to that effect he made. And it's like, really, guy?
Yeah.
Don't be a jerk.
Yeah.
So,
Inconsistency.
It's
frustrating.
Very much so. frustrating. I don't even know how else to pull it. But, yeah, that's the big thing, though, with the Larson that I saw. And then good old Mr. Most Popular Driver, apparently. He's on another long winless streak.
Yeah.
He's only won one race.
Well, he won the one, right? And then
100 and some laps. That was Texas last year. But he was like 70 races winless in front of that, and like a 31 right now.
Did you see the laps led stat? It was during the race at one point.
With Larson led
just
so much.
He just got 10,000. But then Kyle Busch was up there. I think he was right under 20,000. And then Hamlin was right. They were both like really high. And I was just picturing like, that's a lot of laps.
Yeah, it is.
To like A, to be racing, but B, to be like literally up front for that many laps.
Right.
It's just crazy.
Right. And think
20,000 laps.
Yeah, think about these tracks. I mean, we're not talking about like Dover or Bristol. I mean, they're in there, but
I wish
20,000 of those.
They didn't separate it out, but I wish they would have done something to the extent of like how long that took. Like how many seasons has Busch and Hamlin been racing compared to Larson? Like, is he on an advanced track to beat that record?
Right. Where's
is
the
he
pace?
on pace with him? Like,
Yeah.
they didn't spell that out, so that's kind of maybe some internal research to figure that out. But I just thought, man, that's a lot of laps.
It is.
A lot of laps.
And that also includes his target years on the 42 at Chip Ganassi.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Busch comes out and calls out people, and Larson up front. Chase Elliott had somewhat of a strong race, but again, the winless streak.
Strong for him.
How in the world, if this man does not win a race this year, how on God's green earth is he getting the most popular driver?
I don't understand that. But that's like going past a coffee shop that says world's best coffee. It's like some stats are just made up.
Buddy the Elf, congratulations on the world's best coffee.
Yeah. What a movie. What a movie. It's a good one.
Yeah. So, going in the news, we talked about Mr. Buscher. Interesting new thing is the Cars Tour, which has always ran at North Wilkesboro at the same time. Well, I say always, just recently because they're both fairly new. At North Wilkesboro with Cup Series, but they ran a different day. Like Thursday they would run. And they ran something else too. But so, anyway, they have officially moved them to Friday. And they're going to be running on FS1 with Dale Jr. and Kevin Harvick in the booth. This will be good because you're going to have a ton of people get exposure to the Cars Tour that have never seen it before.
Yeah.
I think it's awesome. I think it's fun. And then moving on to that, Harrison Burton's going to be running the 51 this week because he got his Daytona win last year, that he can come back and run the All-Star race.
Nice. I saw Cody Ware's going to be in the 15.
Should have the 01
Figure out
around there.
if he can wad it up somewhere.
Oh my gosh. That man, I saw him get spun out and wreck a car this past weekend. I don't even remember when it was, what happened. But it was like,
it's every race.
Yeah.
He's getting beat up.
I don't understand how Rick Ware can afford that.
I got a lot of, from what I can tell from some of the stuff I listen to, he's into like, I don't know, 5 to 8 different racing sectors, like off-road. So like NASCAR is not his only source of income. He's got a lot of other sources, so he can move stuff around if he thinks it's a investment, to future.
Yeah,
he's got other incomes coming in. It's not just his son's racing that's paying the bills.
Because if it was,
And they have
be
some
hurting.
pretty top dogs. I mean, I remember, LaJoy talked about it a little bit because he's kind of racing under them when he races his 01. And just like some of the names that they have in the different sports is like, there's some pretty good racing.
Yeah.
They're
They're big time. I think it's in funny cars or Top Fuel. They have
I think they have some drag racing. I know they're into motorcycle, dirt bike stuff. I know they're into all sorts of stuff.
Right.
Yeah, it was quite a different many types of racing that they're involved with.
Right.
But yeah, otherwise, I mean, I don't think you can sustain a cup car with Cody wearing it.
No.
No. There's no way financially you can make that justifiable.
Well, they've made it where it's like, hey, we budgeted that we run 20 to 23rd every weekend. We can make it if we go over it. If we win, if we go higher on the
good,
scale, whatever, bad, good, whatever.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know. I wish Corey had more things or put somebody else in it. But also, I don't know if it's this race or not. Ryan Newman's going to be running the Cars Tour.
Okay.
So there's also the mom race that ran as well
in Florida.
In Florida with baldeagle.com and the Crown Vics.
That's right.
It was moms, wives, I think. And what was great was the women were standing there and they were ripping sleeves off their shirts.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, it was great. It was hilarious. And I think Boyer's wife won it.
Huh.
I think I didn't see any official stats, but little birdie said she saw a
baldeagle.com if you need to verify.
Yeah. She go pull it up right now. That'd be funny. I don't know. We got our fan votes coming up. Let's see if I can pull up a fan vote thing here. But yeah, so NASCAR All-Star races this weekend. Fan vote to get in, plus the winners of the heats. Let's see here. NASCAR fan vote. But again, this is one of those things that it's like, okay, what are we doing here? Because they're still talking about Larson winning it.
Yeah.
And everything like that. And surprisingly enough, we were just discussing it. The 12 car is still up there pretty high. And I like Blaney. I think he's a good driver, but at the same time it's like, why is this man still up there when he's been struggling?
Yeah.
Let him drop and climb back up. I don't know. So that's something that popped up with what is going on. The odds. So speaking of the odds, Larson's plus 500, Blaney plus 6, Hamlin, Seabell plus 6, Byron plus 8, Logano plus 8, and I said 800, 600. And then you get into like Elliott, Reddick, Buscher, Briscoe. So you have those guys going on. And to be fair, you have, what is it? You win the heat, you get in 2 heats, or you get the fan vote, which was what we've been talking about. I think it would be cool as if we had some more people running the race. Like old school people came in that are already like provisioned in.
Yeah.
What in the world? Anyway, moving on to the schedule here. We have qualifying, practice and qualifying. 1 attempt at your qualifying. That's Cup Series, FS2, FS1 qualifying. This is the Cars Tour. Window World 100 is going to be on FS1 starting at 8 o'clock Eastern, 100 laps. And then Saturday you have practice and qualifying for the Truck Series with the Window World 250 starting at 1:30 Eastern on FS1. The other ones are going to be on FS2 in the morning. Then you have your 2 heats for the All-Star race happening on Saturday, both 75 laps, with FS2 and MRN doing the broadcast. Then Menards is going to be there. The Dutch boy, I don't think they're actually at North Wilkesboro, but I could be wrong.
Flat Rock Speedway.
Flat Rock, okay. Oh, it's just right there. I could just look and be.
That's why I'm here.
Yep.
Partner in crime.
Dutch boy 150 on Flow Racing, 7:30, and then Sunday, practice and qualifying for the. What are they? Oh, that's the Wheeling. The All-Star race. And then you have the All-Star Open. That's the one that you can get placed in. I think it's the winner gets in there. But you have the Wheeling Modified on Flow Racing at 2 o'clock with the Faith Fest Evangelistic Ministries 150. It's very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Victoria Day Speed Fest. 51 laps. That's Canada. Let's see. Can we see what? Nope. There we go. Canadian Tire Raceway. That's that Montreal track. And then the All-Star Open and race, 5 o'clock for the open race at 8 o'clock. FS1, 100. I lost it.
100 laps.
Yeah, 100 laps.
5 o'clock. She gone.
Yeah, she gone.
I still have it. All-Star race, 100 laps, 5 o'clock, FS1 MRN. Then the All-Star race, Cup Series All-Star race, 250 laps at 8 p.m., FS1 and MRN on Sunday.
There you go.
Just like that.
Just like that. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy.
Lemon grenade gum.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Easy peasy lemon grenade gum.
Yeah. So that's pretty much what's been going on in the world of NASCAR from our take. A few little comments on things. Other than that, it's been fairly. This was a slow week.
It's like the weekly news has been pretty quiet. I think some of your high. Hamlin's got 2 DNFs in a row.
Right.
I think it was a career record, I guess, something like that. 2 consecutive
I can't remember.
DNFs. I think it was like he's never done that before.
Right.
I think there's a lot of stuff hiding in litigation with lawsuits and stuff that's not really popular. But
popping up with that, since you brought that up, I saw something. I think the courts are going to be siding with Front Row. I always want to say Furniture Row. Front Row and 2311 to allow them to continue operating as charters. That's something.
That makes sense. Being here in America, it seems like, hey, let's let them race until we can figure this out.
Right, exactly. And I think that's exactly what's happening.
I don't think it's going to be received well if they don't.
Right.
I mean, it's not. The problem is it's not a team like Hendrick. Like, if it was them, this would already be under a rug somewhere.
Right.
But, like, Hamlin's not a favorite driver. I mean, you saw his power move at Texas with the longhorn up and then longhorn down.
Yeah.
He loves stirring pots. But he's not a fan favorite. There's a lot of fans that love him. But, you get guys like that, and people are partial to what's going to go on,
Right.
Loyal to NASCAR or loyal to whatever, but I try to be neutral mindseted, and I think it's kind of, if you're not going to let them race till you get it figured out, that's kind of not good.
Well, they can race.
Yeah, but
I think there was a contractual obligation in Tyler Reddick's contract, and that was one of the big ploys that they had against it, was he could up and leave if they lost the charter.
Gotcha. Yeah, like Bine's contract then or whatever.
Yeah. So it's I think that plays a big role in it.
It's also interesting, like the purse that is behind, like you got NASCAR versus Michael Jordan and Denny Hamlin. Like,
oh yeah, the purse strings on
the
there.
media about this is like insane. It's like, who else could you pick to like put a lawsuit together? Like,
Right. Also, I saw something. I don't remember where it was, who it was. It popped up on my work computer, ironically. They called out RC for being a fraud. I don't. I should have read the article, but I was busy with other stuff. But they called RC a fraud. Like, okay.
Interesting. So you got a pick for this weekend?
I'm
just shooting off the hip.
Who you got?
Reddick.
Okay. Hendrick Motorsports.
Cowboy style.
let me just shoot the scatter gun. Hendrick Motorsports. It's gonna be somebody.
Yeah.
It's gonna, as much as I detest it, William Byron.
Will he be?
I'm gonna go with William Byron. So yeah, let's change gears real quick.
Hopefully we'll change gears better than Hamlin. Lost his clutch in the third stage or second stage.
I think it was the third stage.
Yeah.
Or no, it was the end of the stage.
See him push him out of the pit box. They had a plan. They had a big plan for it.
Yeah.
They said, if we can't get it going, we'll push you to get started and throw in second.
Yeah. That didn't work. So switching gears, we are a motorsports-oriented podcast, but we are also a sports podcast. The big thing that everybody wants to talk about right now, well, we do. We're not too big into NBA. But what are your feelings on the NHL playoffs?
The little I've seen of it, I would love to watch more. I really think NHL playoffs is like regular season to playoffs it's a different sport. It's played so differently. It's officiated differently. Like it's just a whole different animal. It's kind of weird how sport can just change like that.
Yeah.
I think the way that they play in playoffs is unsustainable to do a whole season this way.
Right.
You just physically won't be able to handle it.
Yeah, well, we just saw a tripping. We got the Winnipeg, Dallas, and just saw a tripping.
That being said, I think this year, from the little bits of pieces I've seen, and I've seen maybe less than a half hour of actual gameplay, it's pretty aggressive. It's action-packed. There is a lot going on. I mean, there's a lot going on.
Unless your name's freaking Alexander Ovechkin.
Yeah, just getting records and...
Well, all you do is you stand there at the stinking top of the crease.
Yep.
And snipe.
Just let him rip.
Like, that's all he does. Ripping the top shelfies.
Yeah.
And clapbacks.
He's a big dude, too. I mean, yeah. He's had an interesting career, in my opinion.
He has.
Like, how simple his goal... If you do a reel of every goal of his, a lot of them will be...
Snipers.
Top of the circle snipes.
Oh, yeah.
But it's interesting how, like, people still allow it. Like, you have equal men on the ice, equal people on the ice. Like, stick a man on him. Like, where's his coverage at?
Right.
But he's sneaky. He's good. He's good at positional. But, yeah, I haven't watched too much. I mean, I really haven't watched too much. But I was watching a little bit of, was it Golden Knights and...
Yeah, Vegas and Edmonton.
That was pretty wild. I mean, it was like... They were getting the goalie, and Hill was getting beat up, and he was getting upset, and it was a spicy game.
So with that being said, Edmonton beat Vegas and kicked them out. So they moved on to the finals, or to the conference finals. They're trying to figure out right here. We're watching the Winnipeg-Dallas game.
Mm-hmm.
That game will determine who they play.
Yeah. What's going on in the East?
East, you have Carolina and the Capitals, which I think Carolina's up.
Okay.
And then you have Florida and Toronto. And
the Panthers, probably.
Yeah, it's
They're
interesting.
usually a pretty good team.
Yeah, Toronto's been giving her good.
Watched too much this year, but I know Carolina has a really good playoff team. Typically, they have a lot of playoff experience.
Yes,
and that really makes a big role. And you could see that if you go back some years to Vegas winning, what was it, their first season in the NHL?
Yeah. All right, here we go. I stand corrected. Carolina beat the Capitals 4-1 in the series.
Okay.
So they are moving on. So Washington has been eliminated. They're going to figure out who they're going to play with Toronto and Florida,
Yeah.
with Florida being up 3-2.
Okay.
Then you got Winnipeg and Dallas.
Friday night, 8 Eastern is the Panthers-Toronto game.
Yeah. Yeah, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific.
Should be a good game.
On Sportsnet or probably on ESPN.
Yeah. Yeah, it's playoff hockey is just, I think anything playoff is like enhanced, like
Yeah.
play wise, like
Right.
basketball is better, like everything's better.
Well, the crazy thing with
I don't
basketball,
know of any other sport that gets as like polarizingly different than regular season.
now the crazy thing with basketball is everybody's getting injured. All these star players are getting hurt.
Yeah.
And then you have the people like, you know,
Well, so are the NHL guys. They just don't tell you.
yeah. Well, they're still
Not
playing.
not to be rude, they're just a little bit tougher than your typical stick ball sport players.
Well, these guys are also like blowing ligaments too.
Yeah.
The thing that I saw that drives me nuts is Draymond Green from Gold State. He likes to play, like he made some comments, and this was after, so they eliminated the Houston Rockets. He made some comments, and the female reporter for the Rockets, she's a sideline, whatever, side court reporter, whatever.
Right.
She's very knowledgeable and knows her stuff. Same thing with the person who does it for the Astros. And she called them out and was like, this is the man that kicked the guy in the crotch, punched him in the throat and all this, and he's talking about sportsmanship.
Yeah.
So it's like, really, why you're the one going to come out here and say all this stuff, and you're playing pretty dirty.
Yeah.
The whole basketball thing angers me when it comes to some of the dirty stuff that happens. I don't even care if it's the team that I follow. Hockey, I don't know. Do you have who are you thinking is going to win the cup? Is Canada going to bring it back, or is it going to be
I don't know.
stateside?
They have a good team, but Panthers are always good. Like they have what do they have? Two cups in the last 10 years, something like that.
Florida, just
Yeah.
one.
Was it just the one?
Just the one.
Well, I know
last year.
Tampa and them were kind of battling it for a year or two, back and forth.
Right.
They're a good team. I don't know. I actually was at a Winnipeg game this year, and I didn't really see, I don't know, championship play, but, Stanley Cup finals play. But, like I said, the sport is so different.
I don't know. I think Edmonton's kind of scary.
They're really scary. Yeah. They got some really hot players, and winning a series like they did, I mean, that's, yeah.
You see that guy in the top corner, the Winnipeg?
In the orange.
Yeah, that's the Dallas Stars guy.
Oh, really?
This is a Winnipeg whiteout. It's like, wearing
Elmer Fudd orange.
Yeah, it's like wearing Ohio State red to a Penn State whiteout game.
Yeah, I do
You're
that.
going to stick out like a sore thumb.
I would do that.
I can't stand Ohio State, so
I like Penn State. I like Penn State less. Not a fan.
What about Penn State hockey, though?
Not a fan of Penn State at all.
No?
Nope. Too much pride, nothing to back it up.
We are.
I think it's all the remote campuses that just act like they're something. Just like has always gotten under my skin.
Well, there's
It's like a rebranded community college, and they act like they're like
yeah.
Notre Dame. It's like, guys.
Yeah, it's because you can go to Penn State. The one that always sticks in my head, and this is from graduating in Chester County in Pennsylvania, is I'm going to Penn State Delco, and I'm going to go and get my 1 year under there, and I'm moving to main campus after that.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay,
Yeah.
The community college I went to, we didn't do that. You
Yeah.
graduated or you left, went somewhere else. Even the other schools, like LSU's got a whole bunch of different ones.
Yeah.
And they have a pride within themselves, not mixed in with LSU as a whole.
Yeah.
Like there's one up in the north. I don't know what it's called, but they're one of the most dominant baseball teams in like D3.
Okay. Yeah.
And it's just like they don't talk about LSU too much. Now football's football. And I mean, even I didn't go to LSU and I cheer for LSU.
Yeah.
So it's like, everybody.
I think anyone that's an outsider, like not a non-attendee of a particular college and a fan of it, I have no problems at all.
Yeah.
Like,
well, people go to me and they're like, "Oh, why are you an LSU fan? Did you go to LSU?" I'm like, "No."
Yeah.
And then why are you a fan? I guess they're like, "Oh, because I went to Penn State. I'm a Penn State fan." I'm like,
yeah.
I am an LSU fan because 1, my uncle went to LSU.
Yeah.
And then 2, my 6th grade teacher went to LSU, and she is like 4'9", and she went to school at the same time Shaq did and had classes with Shaq.
Love it.
So you can imagine this really short woman.
Yeah, I didn't know Shaq went there.
Yeah, Shaq was an LSU guy.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just something about Penn State just bugs me.
Yeah.
I've never liked them. Just not a fan.
Yeah. I kind of get tired of some of the people where they're always chanting "We are."
Yeah, when they're not, you aren't.
I mean, college football's been a lot stronger this year for Penn State. I'll give them that. I, being an SEC fan, I still will say SEC's better. We have the champions coming out mostly from the SEC.
Yeah.
Baseball, you don't hear anything talk about Penn State baseball. I don't even know if they have a baseball team.
I imagine they do by the number of students they have, but
Right.
Yeah, no.
Their hockey team's supposed to be half decent.
Yeah, I mean,
It's a beautiful arena.
Yeah, they have good hockey at main campus. I mean, they have some good club teams too.
Mm-hmm.
But the stigma, I just don't care at all about any of them. Just
Yeah.
yeah,
It doesn't bother me one bit.
yeah,
Either way, I have a coworker that went to Penn State, and so he knows I think he went to school with the basketball coach.
okay.
So
Not the one in jail, right?
no, the guy that took over for him
Oh,
or
that's good.
something like that.
That's
But
good.
yeah, no, I mean, so just to bring it up because we're going to the playoff, we got baseball going on too, which is pretty wild. I say wild, but we're a quarter of the way through the season
Yeah,
right now with MLB, and it's still up for grabs. I saw a statistic that popped up. The AL West and AL Central all have teams, or 4 of their teams, 4 out of the 5, I think it is, have records above 500.
yeah.
The AL East only has 1.
So everyone's just playing like good to decent everywhere.
Yeah.
Like everyone's just hitting
Yeah.
500. Like,
And then the Chicago White Sox are like +8 since they named the new Pope. Since he's from Chicago. Well, he was
Interesting.
from the churches in Chicago. He actually went to Villanova.
okay,
And so Villanova's been trying to lay claim to this Pope.
nice.
It's like, oh yeah, I saw something. It was No Shorts podcast, or I guess it was No Shorts or Crossing Broad. They do like a combo thing, and they were talking to this one guy. He's like, oh yeah, we got something to do with Villanova and whatnot, and it's like, no, Temple. It's like, because Temple's Philly, Villanova's not. I'm like, huh? Okay.
Yeah,
They're claiming it because Nova's in Delco.
gotcha.
I'm like, come on, give me a freaking
The flash
break.
hands out, Delco flash hands.
Yeah. Oh man, I'm like, it's a Philly burb. It's Philly.
Yeah,
So
it's Philly.
I
I was told by someone, once you cross the Brandywine, you're in Philly. Once you cross the Brandywine, that's Philly,
I call it 202.
which is not far past the Brandywine.
That's very true.
it's
very
2
very
miles. So there you go.
True.
You're in Philly once you're there.
Oh man, that's so true. Either that or you go to the county line. But
That's right.
um,
Rick Tocchet.
yeah, well, that's the other thing I wanted to bring up. I don't know how I feel about that. I'm not too versed in Tocchet, except for the fact of him being coach, places.
Yeah.
I mean,
I read a little brief article about it, and it said he's got, so I'd say statistically, there's a good chance he's going to do well. Like, he was a successful coach elsewhere.
right.
He has experience in relationship playing and knowing Briere.
Right.
He knows Keith Jones from playing with him. So, like, he already has, like, a triangle of leadership for the Flyers. So, like, I would say statistically, he's got a good chance of doing well.
Yeah. He won 2 cups as a coach
Yes.
with Pittsburgh, which that should be rubbing people the wrong way. His last job, wasn't he with Phoenix?
I forget what team, but he was like a free agent essentially, and
Oh, okay.
like he was like at end of contract and like seamlessly left kind of deal.
What are the World Championships? The World Championships apparently are going on, and if your team is not in the, if you play on a sucky team, you can still play for your country. Just saw Cindy Crosby
Sandy
out there,
said the kid
and Fleury. Interesting.
Marc Andre.
These people in Whiny Pig are weird. Yes, I called it Whiny Pig.
I don't do whiny pig. Want a big jets. I don't do crowds.
The biggest crowd I've been in, and I'm kind of done with that, is Punxsutawney.
Yeah.
I mean,
Never been. It's a pretty big turnout.
Oh my gosh, we were the biggest ones, like 50K people.
Jeez.
And I mean, it's a trip. It's fun. It's cool. And then like the food and stuff they have in town, it's just the amount of people and trying to get out of there.
Yeah, traffic wise.
Well, no, not even that. You can't, because you can't drive up to Gobbler's Knob. You have to park somewhere and get bussed in, and it's like $5.
Oh, jeez.
So you do that, and then you go from there. But leaving was worse because the buses weren't lining up or doing something right.
Okay.
So we ended up walking down
Yeah.
into the town like 3 miles away.
Yeah. We had a similar experience. We went to World War II weekend last year in Reading.
Okay. Is that the one that's north at the airport?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Transportation was a mess.
I can only imagine.
A mess. Like, it could have been so much better. Like, it just ran so poorly. It was so bad. We literally almost just walked like 3 or 4 miles because it was that bad.
Right.
It was bad enough. It was our first time ever going, and it's bad enough that we said we will never attend it ever again.
Wow.
It was just like, we might drive nearby and watch the air shows are weird because like you can see them from anywhere. As long as you're close to the airport, like you will see the same stuff that you see from inside of an airfield. Like, maybe not quite as close to some of the stuff, but we would go up. We'll go up and watch the air show from outside of the show.
Okay.
But the transportation and the ticketing process was just so horrible. It was like, how can it be ran this poorly? Like, it was just not good at all. I think it took us, I mean, this is like, I'd say a regional show. Like, this is like a tri-state show that like people come from New York, New Jersey, Maryland, like Delaware.
Yeah.
Like, not a
It's not huge.
national show.
Yeah.
I think it took us 2.5 hours from the time we got near the parking lot. It took us about an hour to get into the parking lot, to park. It was over an hour to wait for a shuttle, and then a half hour. It was 2.5 hours probably from the time we got close to the venue to we were walking through the front gate.
That's rough.
And it's like, guys, this is not a 200,000 attendee event. Like,
Right.
It's probably 5 to 10,000.
Yeah.
And it's like, this is not a big event. It shouldn't be this bad. But and it's been a long time runner. Like, it's been going on for a fair amount of time. Like, yeah, you run one thing one year and you go, we learned a lot. We're going to do a lot different next year. But you'd think that they'd have kinks worked out of an event that they run yearly.
I think I drove by it one year going to a wedding to film.
Okay.
So
it would have been really cool, being that we didn't have to spend half of our day trying to get into the show.
Yeah.
But yeah, It's interesting, but yeah. Like to get to an air show of some sort with the kids this summer.
That would be a cool thing to do. I mean, we got the big old plane that flies over Pocono.
Yep.
Segueing back to NASCAR.
And we're back.
Yep. So yeah, we'll see what happens after the All-Star race. Unfortunately, I got a gut feeling it's going to be Kyle Larson winning it.
Yeah.
Maybe Ty Gibbs fastest pit crew.
Yeah.
But I think it's going to be Larson winning the race.
I did want to look that up. I never did. Just a point for you race fans, if you wanted to look it up. I saw the second to last pit stop. Larson and Chase Elliott. Their pit times were exactly the same, 9.9.
Interesting.
But they didn't make mention to how long the pit stop was when Larson lost the lead after the timing line thing. And I thought that'd been to me that's a good segue to go. Was it only the timing lines, or was there a pit mistake? Were they 9.9s again and it was purely the timing lines, or did he have a 9.9 and Elliott had a 9.2 and that was the difference? I wish they'd have touched on that because I was kind of curious and I never did look it up. I'm sure it's out there somewhere as to see, but I thought it was really maybe a little suspicious that both of their times on the thing was 9.9 before.
Right.
How interesting. 2 Hendrick cars pulling a 9.9.
Yeah.
To the 100th of a second.
Go figure.
But they didn't say anything about how long they were pitted for on that final one there, but
they have robots.
Robots
are their pit crew.
Yeah. Droids.
These are not the droids you're looking for.
If you know, or whatever that letter combination you did.
FYKYK, IYKYK.
There you go.
To be fair,
I'll have to get that one figured out so I can say it.
Yeah, I don't know. I still like the whole everything. Well, we'll close it up here.
Yep.
Let's pitter patter and
Let's
move on, and we'll see you guys next week after the All-Star race,
North Wilkesboro.
And however you feel about it, you can be happy or you can praise, but Fox is done.
I look forward to something different.
So let's see how bad TNT and Prime can foul it up.
Yeah.
If they do.
We shall see.
Yeah. So have a great weekend, and we'll catch you guys next week.
See you later.
See ya.